Corner with Heck and King live at Corby's Irish Pub is presented by Tony Letcher with Health Markets Insurance, Han Funeral Homes and Bricks Driving School in Mishawaka, and the Harbor Group Planned Wealth in Anderson.
If you're watching on live, make sure to subscribe to the channel, hit the thumbs up, and comment in the live chat. If you're listening on audio podcasts, follow the show and leave a 5-star review. Now here's Heck and King.
Hello. We are in the beautiful, and I mean beautiful, man. There's not a better, in the city of South Bend, if you want to go out, grab a beer, look at some Notre Dame stuff on the walls. There's not a better place than Corby's Irish Pub to do it. I mean, Joe Matiga and his group just do a tremendous job. We are so thankful to be able to have our show here.
We've had fun, and Joe's been very generous with the time and effort, and we really appreciate everybody that's here.
Yeah, we do. I have the great Pat King on my right, a former great high school basketball coach, an unbelievable driver's education instructor. That's, you know what? If something happens to you, I think you're going to go down in the Driver's Education Hall of Fame.
Well, maybe in longevity. I thought some of those old timers, but I taught driver's ed for like 40-some years.
I'm just saying.
I survived that long.
Yeah. There's a rainstorm. There's a rainstorm in South Bend. He's sitting on the corner somewhere with the driver's ed car. A limb comes crashing through his windshield, pins him against the back seat. His first thought is, are my students okay? He can't breathe. He's got a tree in his chest. And I swear to God, you're going down into the Driver's Education Hall of Fame.
True story.
True story. In the hospital for what, 2 years?
At least a week.
Yeah, a week.
At least a week.
And then to Pat's right is the great Kenny Ray Peterson. He's our fact checker. He knows everything about everything, WKRP. We've missed you the last couple of weeks. Know you've been really busy, but thanks for coming in.
Yeah.
I am. I'm just Heck, man. I'm Ron Hecklinski. I do what I do, and I have a blast. But this is our last show this year. We usually start maybe in the middle of August, go all the way then to the third week of May.
Mm-hmm.
So we've been going
where we are.
Almost 38 weeks now.
The whole school year.
Yeah.
Why is people in the bar giving a standing ovation for that last statement you just made? This is our last show. It's like Karnak, the final envelope.
This is the final episode.
Wait a minute.
Well,
if somebody stood up and gave us a standing ovation, point them out to me. I don't play that.
We've got the water rescue guys in here.
Our shows,
they've probably been over East Race.
have been ranked in the upper echelon of podcasts
Locally.
locally.
Of all the podcasts that are here
Northern
at Corby,
Indiana.
the ones that are at Corby's, we're probably right up there close to the top.
No, someone was just telling me the other day, our podcast in Northern Indiana is one of the tops.
It really is. It is. Yeah.
So you're the fact checker. Is that true?
Yes. Yeah. No, it is. It is.
I love you, man. I don't give a
is.
shit what they say. I love you.
It is.
But no,
Well, we want to congratulate him for winning the primary over in New Carlisle for mayor again.
Yeah.
So
did you win it?
He's
Unopposed.
Unopposed again. Apolitical.
They know better to vote for anybody else.
They don't. There's no Democrat. There's no Republican. It's just Kenny.
Yeah.
No, and Kenny, no, you've been out to the dance hall the last few weekends.
Yes, I have.
That's amazing. And this last show, and we're going to talk some stuff. We'll talk some facts. We'll talk some sports. We're going to have the great Joe Matiga on here later. But our sponsors have been literally amazing for us. And a couple of them we've had. So this is our fourth year,
right?
A couple of them we've had with us for all 4 years
since day one,
and
they're very generous.
So obviously,
patient.
We're going to give a little bit of love to some of our sponsors. The great Pat Hahn from Hahn Funeral Home. He couldn't be with us tonight. He had to do a little funeral work.
Had to work.
Yeah, he had to go down to Indy to pick somebody up, and he wasn't going to have a great conversation with them because they were dead. But he would have loved to come. He's already pledged to do our show again next year. And Pat Hahn and the great people in Mishawaka at Hahn Funeral Home, they're outstanding. And I want to give a great shout out to Big Pat and thank him for being with us. Ben Harbor, he's been with us now for 2 years at Harbor a financial institution
Right.
in your great city
Tanner Anderson.
of Andertucky. And just a great city.
It's kind of become that.
Who am I to say Andertucky? I lived there and was there for 19 years.
It's
Coached and taught there for 19 years. And I mean, Ben Harbor has just done a great job with both of us financially, with our stocks, our bonds, our whatever else we have.
We only have to work part-time 2 days a week right now.
I try and
instead of 5.
I try and send Ben 2 casino chips every month. Whatever they are, whatever the denomination is, he gets 2 casino chips from me in the mail every month. Whether it's a $500 chip, whether it's a $5 chip.
Or $1 chip.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Or whether it's a Monopoly chip. He gets chips in the mail from me.
Yahtzee chip also, red or white.
And somehow he makes it grow.
Wow.
Somehow he makes it grow.
I just send him 2 reds. I gave him an Indiana Avenue and an Illinois Avenue. That's
There you
all I
go.
got off the Monopoly board.
And Ben couldn't be with us tonight. It's his daughter's 7th birthday. He's spending some time with her tonight. So he did send us a clip. And every year his firm, Harbor Financial, throws a party called Harborville.
And they invite us every year.
Kenny and I were singing Harborville before the show started.
And I have not made it down there yet.
But it is a great party, and he's got a live review from Harborville. So why don't you cue that up, and we'll let our listeners and our people watching see the great Ben Harbor in action and hear him talk about Harbor finances.
All right.
Most people don't think of Anderson, Indiana as a beach town, but for 3 hours once a year, it becomes just that. Our guests don't just drive their car into a parking lot, they sail their boat into port. They drop anchor, and they experience a family-friendly beach party like no other.
Harborville is an event that brings the community together. It's an experience that brings joy to both young and old. It's a place for families to make fun memories and for friends to reconnect. It is one irrationally generous thank you card to our clients.
Looking around and seeing the absolute joy and to some extent shock on clients' faces really makes it all worth it. They're always excited to see what new things are going to be at the event, but also excited for the repeats like their annual caricature. It's really cool to get to see clients with their families, not just the husband and the wife in my office doing the planning, but the kids that they're doing planning for, and also grandparents with their grandkids. We don't get to see that side of clients all the time. We just hope that our clients feel appreciated. It really is just our thank you to them.
There's a Maya Angelou quote that goes, "People sometimes forget what you say, but they will never forget how you make them feel." Harbor Group embraces that culture, and Harborville is just one way we get to share it.
Just a great representation of who Ben Harbor and the Harbor Group is. Located out of Anderson, Indiana, but he does business all over the country.
He does.
As a matter of fact, he was talking to Scott yesterday, and Scott told me he lived in Texas, and Ben said, "I'm licensed in Texas," and so he can do. He's licensed in Tennessee because I turned to my sister on to him who lives in Tennessee, and he said, "Heck, I'm licensed." My sister called him.
Wow.
She's got all of her finances with Ben Harbor.
How many
And
states? Is,
He works with LPL Incorporated,
Yes.
LTD or whatever it might be.
No, LPL.
Yeah, it's called LPL.
how many states is he licensed in?
How many states are there now? 62?
Well, depends,
50. Is there
depending
50
on,
states?
Still 50, yes.
depending on
50
what
states, all right.
congressional voting we're on.
There's 50 states. He's probably licensed in half of them, to be honest
Okay.
with you. But he does a great job. Anytime you have a question about your finances, like 2 months ago, all of our stuff took a hit. Okay, 2 months ago, I lost maybe 20 grand in the markets. But last month, I made it back. And he's very transparent and will tell you just
says-
straight up front
He just
exactly what the story is.
He's flat told us, just put your seatbelt on and hang on.
That's about what it really is now.
It's a roller coaster. He
Yeah.
said, just hang on. He said, don't panic.
Yeah, and so we're really appreciative of Ben for wanting to be a sponsor and to help our podcast. And I said, Ben, listen, ain't nobody listening to the show, but the fact that you know that how much we love you and how much we appreciate you, that's the deal. And he's just a kind-hearted young kid. And I shouldn't say kid now; he's a young man. When I was coaching at Anderson, he played for Pendleton Heights.
Oh, wow.
And an interesting thing about Ben Harbor is he was an understudy for Peyton Manning. When Peyton Manning played for the Colts.
Okay, I remember that story.
When Peyton Manning played for the Colts, whenever there was a commercial shot and it wasn't Peyton talking, or maybe it was a side shot of Peyton, that was always Ben Harbor.
He was
Wow.
he was a body
Wow.
double.
He was a body double.
Yeah.
Yeah. So who would be a body double for you? Who would you say?
Gee. Yogi Berra.
No, seriously, who would you say would be your body double?
I don't know.
How about you?
Oh,
I haven't
God,
even
I
thought
wouldn't even
about
know where
it.
to begin.
Kevin Costner? How's that?
I got dibs on Costner.
Oh, never mind.
I got dibs on Costner.
Maybe Ray Romano for me.
Denzel.
Yeah, hey, that's a great.
That's
Would be
a
a
good
great one.
Denzel. Denzel's about the same body build.
For you.
Yeah.
It's just there's a drastic difference. Though,
Well,
okay?
I mean, body build.
I mean, I would never look at Denzel and say, "Hey, that's Pat King."
Well, you might, well,
And I love Denzel. I think Denzel's great.
the silhouette is what I
Okay.
meant.
All right. Well, if anybody can think of a body double for the great Patrick
Humpty Dumpty.
Lee King, it's not Lee. Is it Patrick Lee
my
King?
wife would tell you right now it's Humpty Dumpty.
I don't think so. I think you're a strong 6'5", 239 pounds.
You're very generous.
I know I am.
Hey, did you look at that breaking news we just saw?
Yeah, I just saw
How
that
about
Kyle Busch, age 41, passed
NASCAR
away.
fans. That's
I'm just so saddened by that. I knew that he had some sort of an illness
Right.
that he was dealing with in his last race. He raced, but he was fatigued, and they had to get him out of the car right away. And there was a question now: could he race this weekend? They found somebody to take his place, and I was overwhelmed when I saw that he had passed away because I just heard the story about an hour and a half ago that he was sick.
okay.
I don't know.
Yeah,
And obviously, we don't know what it was, do we?
We don't know any. I don't know any details.
Can our great fact checker Kenny Ray Peterson maybe look him down a little
Let's see
bit?
if WKRP can look up the
We'll figure
stuff
that out.
here.
So, hey, last week I really want to appreciate everybody's, saying something to us. It had some nice notes of appreciation. Our 45 minutes with John Pistol last week went very well. I thought we had a good time. One, I had a chance to talk to one of my buddies from a long time ago, and I just, I thought some of the topics that we dealt with were quite interesting, considering it wasn't sports. And the stories he had with the FBI and the TSA things, I thought, without going into too much detail, I thought the adventures he has had was very entertaining and worthwhile. So I still need to get his book signed. Now I've got to get it to Delaware somehow, or maybe I just wait for the next class reunion. I don't know.
I'll sign it for you. Where's
Well,
that?
if you notice, I kind of put in a little jab about the auto pin stuff, and it just went right by everybody because that was one of the topics last week was
We're not that smart, Pat.
how many auto pin accusations had been flying around in Washington. So that's kind of what I was throwing that out there, but it just kind of went by the wayside.
Well, I thought the most interesting comment about, or, with the interview with John Pistol was his career at Anderson University as a basketball player. And I thought it was really telling because I'm a basketball coach.
Right.
You're a basketball coach. I thought it was really telling of what a bad job Barrett Bates got that basketball team to do in that December game in 1977 when Anderson played Manchester, and John Pistol on air. I mean, we can go back. You can archive this, and you can hear his comment. His comment was, Coach Bates said we didn't have to guard Heck and let Heck shoot. So you weren't here.
No.
He said the scouting report on Ron Hecklinski, and John played for Anderson University, was just let Heck shoot. He can't bust a grade. Let him shoot. So after the game, I go for 24 points and 21 rebounds. And I said, okay, let me shoot, coach. Right? You want that scouting report again? Because I don't think so. And John was really gracious on that. And I asked John if that date, December, I think it was December 13th, 1977.
Read that.
Does that date make something up? Tell him scouting report said, let him shoot, limited range. Is that from John right now?
No, that was our conversation leading up to the show.
Oh, okay.
The green ones are mine. That's me talking to him.
You're saying, excuse me. You're saying
you put him up there. Yeah. You son of a gun.
You're talking December 13th, 1977?
Yeah. Do you know what that is?
That's the date that the Evansville plane crashed.
Man, he is all over the news.
That's why you're our fact checker.
I've read the book. The book is phenomenal.
That's when we played that game. And I asked John, who's the deputy director of the FBI, in charge of Homeland Security, in charge of TSA. I said, John, does the date December 13th, 1977 mean anything to you? He said, no, not really. I said, really, John? And I asked our fact checker, WKRP.
He was just a college kid then.
He jumps on it right away. But anyway, we're driving home from that game, and the fog you can't even see.
Right.
Now, I'm elated because I go for 24 and 21. So I'm thinking about how many dates I'm going to have that, coming up on that Friday and stuff. When you go for a double, that counts for something, right? Even in Manchester.
Oh, sure.
What about at Butler?
I just remember we all try to remember where we were then. We had a home game that night against Wabash College, and Danny Skaggs, who I grew up with, played for Wabash.
Yeah.
And they crawled home. He said it took them 4 hours to get back to Crawfordsville from Indianapolis.
I know it took us a long time to get back from Manchester to Anderson.
Yeah.
But I digress for a minute. If you got a double-double at Butler, was anything special? Like, could you go to a certain sorority house and have a date right after that?
The only double-double I would have had would have been a drink at the bar.
Give me a double.
Or a double foul.
Give me a double. But no, so we're driving back, and it's foggier than crap. Mm-hmm. And all of a sudden, we got the radio on, and all of a sudden the radio comes up and says, alert, blah, blah, blah. Evansville plane crashes. Everybody on board killed. And as I did some looking into that, did you read the book?
I've read the book, yeah. Purely
Pilot's fault. And what happened was the plane was late coming in from St. Louis.
Right.
There was some kind of a weather deal, and the plane was about an hour and a half late coming from St. Louis. The pilots docked the plane, and they did something with the flaps.
Yes.
And
yes, the flaps did. There was something that happened. I remember reading that. Yeah.
Okay, with the flaps, and they were in a hurry. Because they wanted to make the time up to get Evansville, I believe, over to Southern Illinois. And
I think that's right.
when they got everybody up, because they were behind in time, they forgot to undo the flap or whatever they did.
Right. Now, there's more to that story, as I recall, too.
Because there were a couple of guys that were left behind.
Well, that was supposed
Evansville.
That was supposed to be their second flight. Notre Dame was supposed to take that same exact plane to Bloomington for the IU game that day.
Right.
And then the plane was going to go from Bloomington back, down to Evansville to pick them up and make a second trip. And Notre Dame canceled because of the weather, took a bus.
I took a bus down there. Yeah.
That's the story I heard.
Yeah.
And what we used that same courier service, that same charter group at Butler, because we had flown to Creighton to Omaha. Maybe don't know if it was the same plane or the same pilot. I don't know. It was, but the same service is a charter group. It was two propers, as I recall.
Yeah. It was.
It held 15, 20 people. And
there were 29 people
is that what it
on
was,
the
29?
flight with
Okay.
the pilots
and obviously they
crew.
might have had different sized planes too.
Right.
But yeah, we'd been on that. We'd been on planes similar to that for some of our road trips as well, because I know we had played Creighton over in Omaha, like maybe the week before or 2 weeks prior, whatever it was. So yeah, that was a big deal.
No. Hey,
Kenny, strike.
you strike again.
1 point for Kenny.
That's why you're sitting in that chair.
That's right.
Apparently, yeah.
No, so and so going back to John Pistol, just what a wonderful career, human being, and you went to school with John,
Right.
high school,
National-
and you knew John your whole life.
He's a national figure. I mean, right now, because anytime something happens, like he said with Savannah Guthrie's mom, he was on TV, numerous times with all the international situations come up, security, in and out of the airports, like he said, CNN, Fox, they're always calling him. And I remember I asked him why, and he said, because the price is right.
Yeah, because they don't have to pay him.
Because my question was, are the present TSA people or the present FBI people, is there a jealousy or say, hey, John, shut up, that's my job, something like
Right.
that? I think he acted like there was no big deal. They were happy.
I don't think there's any jealousy. I think that they can, they can get John on speed dial and know that John will talk to him.
Well, and he didn't mention anything, but I think he is still very involved behind the scenes.
Yeah, I don't think there's any question.
I think that's one of those
guy.
jobs you can say you're retired, but I think he's always on retainer.
Yeah.
If there's something needs to be done, I think he will jump on a plane, just like he was out in San Francisco for something.
Well, I can guarantee you this much.
But I'm sure it had to do with something with what's going on out in San Francisco.
I'm pretty sure that John was not at home practicing shooting free throws. As a junior in college at Anderson University, he shot 48% from charity stripe. How I know this? I looked that stuff up.
Now,
as a senior, he shot 52.
Well,
Come on, John.
John, I tell you, John was a good ball player in high school. That's for sure. I know even growing up. I mean, he went to Central and I went to Northside. So if you figure when he was in ninth grade, it was John Pistol, Roy Taylor, and Tony Marshall all on the same team.
Wow. So here's a question I have for
They were
you.
pretty good.
Yeah.
Okay, here's a question I have for you. Tony Marshall got thrown into slammer. Did he call John to try and get him out?
No, but it was funny at one of the class reunions we had. I've got a picture of John, Tony, and Roy and myself all four at the same table. And John's got this inquisitive look on his face as Tony's talking, like, okay, tell me what'd you do to get thrown in? Tell me exactly what you did.
Hey, no. If I'm Tony, here's the deal. High school teammates, high school guys.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a bond there that should never, ever, ever be broken.
Well,
high school guys, right?
And you see that with your St. Joe guys, just like I said with John. We go to the class reunion. I hadn't seen him in 10 years. And we both just kind of waved at each other. We didn't hug or shake hands. We just waved at each other. He went and sat with his Park Place friends, and I went and sat with my Edgewood friends.
But here's the deal.
You just know.
This is Northern Indiana.
Right.
This is God's country.
Yeah.
Right? Yes. I mean, a little south. This is God's country. Yes. I mean, Gary and Hammond, that's truly God's country. But this is God's country. Notre Dame. So if that's me, if I'm Tony Marshall, I get jammed up a little bit, right? Mm-hmm. And John Pistol's in my class. I get jammed up wherever he was at, Hawaii. I don't know where he was at. My first call, hey, Johnny, Tony, hey, can you call this cat, man? That's kind of how our high school deal was.
Yeah.
Can you call this guy? Oh, hell yeah, I'll call him. Where you at? Okay, I'll get you out in a minute.
Unfortunately, the things that Tony got involved with, I think, were pretty serious.
Yeah, well, we're going to not talk about that.
That's funny.
There's got to be something about loan sharks or breaking a leg somewhere in there, but we're not chatting about that. But anyway, listen, I think that's really cool. I think it's great to have high school classmates and high school people that you haven't seen for 10 years. and you can pick up the phone or you can see him somewhere. You can sit there and you can chat for an hour.
Sure.
Now, I know you got guys from New Prairie, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
That you grew up with. I mean, so did those guys vote for you in the primary?
They better.
Did they? Or Uncle Angelo from Fort Lauderdale? Did
Yes.
you make a call?
There was only one name on the ballot.
It doesn't matter.
He was kind of like what they're doing in California. He was bringing people in because they didn't need voter ID.
but
They
it-
just need to come in and vote.
It don't matter why.
The New Prairie Alumni Association card is all you need.
So, what year did you graduate from New Prairie?
89.
Okay, you're just a lot younger than me.
Yeah.
But all right. So listen, we are going to take a break, and then when we come back, we're going to have the great Donnie Heklinski, who is the drummer for the Black Sedan Band,
All right.
who he's been with us for all 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
Sponsors our bumper music, our coming back music, and he's still playing. He's 74 and he's still playing. He's going to tell us about his gig that he has tomorrow night. But so how long do our breaks last? I mean, do we have this down to silence?
2 minutes.
All right. Well, let's talk some more stuff for about another minute.
Well,
Kenny, what else is happening?
Not much.
You've been
Not much.
umpiring, right?
We've been umpiring. The seasons are going. And
I mean, have you had Blasco yet?
No.
Okay.
No.
You haven't kicked him out yet?
I haven't kicked anybody out yet this year.
What age group you doing? Little League, Babe Ruth?
Right now, it's mainly 12 and under, some 14 and under.
Okay.
And the challenge where I've been going is getting people to understand the rules of the game.
Can I just okay? So I'm just going to rehash this for 30 seconds because nobody listens anyway. Blasco's number one draft choice of the Chicago Cubs.
Yes, he is.
Makes $1 million, blah, blah, blah. Pitches in the minors. He's literally the next guy up for the Cubs. Then he blows his arm out.
Yeah.
He's now coaching for the good of our young children, coaching his own players, but coaching his own kids, but coaching young kids. You run them. What the hell is that about? You run them.
Yes. Because we're there for
You
the
can't
kids.
run Chad Blasco.
Yes, you can. You can ban anybody that can't behave themselves. Yes.
Man.
Yes.
Like, didn't you just say, hey, Chad, listen, man, I know all about you, blah, blah, blah. Can you just chill out? Can you just chill out a little bit? I mean, could you just say, can't you just chill out for a minute, Chad?
Have you ever seen the movie when Harry Met Sally and Billy Crystal's the referee?
Yeah.
And he kicks Kareem Abdul-Jabbar out of the game. And Kareem goes, you can't do this to me. This is my farewell game. You know what Billy Crystal says? Well, let me be the first to say farewell.
That's harsh.
It's harsh, but you know what though? It's good when the people behave this because you're there for the kids. It's not about. Well, I will say this: I had one parent this year who was a coach who got all over me because she was claiming that we were playing by the rules of baseball. So she calls the league honchos, and I'm on the field umpiring. She goes, somebody wants to talk to you. And I look, it's like, I'm not talking to him. We're in the middle of a game. He'll call me after the game.
Somebody wants to talk to you.
Yeah. No.
Funny.
Go. And then we had one in a game where we had a bang bang call, and the coach of this one team comes out and calls time. He goes, second opinion, like you're at the doctor's office. It's like, no. He goes, what do you mean no? It's like, you can't appeal it. A safe out call. You can go sit out now.
Tell him just to throw the challenge flag or sit the hell down.
Challenge flag.
Challenge this or sit down. I mean, I got time for either do it, and I'll look at the replay. The replay says he's out.
He's out.
So sit down.
Sit down.
Sit down. Why don't you take us to break? We'll come back, and hopefully the great Donnie Heck will be on.
Finding private health insurance can be stressful. What if it didn't have to be? I'm Tony Letcher, licensed insurance agent. I prefer to personally meet with my clients so I can get a better understanding of your needs and budget. I can even review your current coverage. I don't want you to be my client today. I want you to be my client forever. Call Tony Letcher today to schedule your free consultation or visit tletcher.com.
Hahn Funeral Homes in Mishawaka continues its tradition of families serving families. They provide burial, cremation, and pet cremation with compassionate personal care. Families have long trusted Hahn to guide them through life's hardest moments. Learn more by clicking the link in the show description.
Looking to get your driver's license? Frick's Driving School in Mishawaka makes it easy. Take the official Indiana State driving exam right there in-house for just $65. No formal driver's education required.
If you're 16 years and 270 days old, and you've held an Indiana learner's permit for at least 180 days, you're eligible. For more information, the link is in the video description.
The Harbor Group Planned Wealth helps you answer the big questions like when to draw Social Security, how to manage investment risk, and what health insurance might cost. Wondering if you can earn part-time income after 62 without losing benefits, or if retiring could actually feel like getting a raise. For more information and for information about all of our partners, see the links in the show description and make sure to tell them that Coach's Corner with Heck and King sent you.
Back with more Coach's Corner with Heck and King. Thanks as always to the Black Sedan Band for the music coming in and out of these breaks. If you're interested in booking them, they do travel. Head on over to blacksedanband.com and give a special shout out to their drummer, who happens to be Heck's brother. And now, here's more Heck and King.
Hey, we are back. Appreciate everybody tuning in tonight. We've got a decent crowd here at Corby's tonight. Hey, we've got basketball on. We are down to the Final Four in the NBA, and I will admit that I have started watching it a little bit.
Well, let's see if our guest has been watching some basketball.
No, he ain't been watching it. Well, no, he does like NBA basketball. When it gets to the finals, I tried to time this perfectly, man, because we went to break, and then your bumper music from the Black Sedan Band came on and brings us back. Our fact checker down here to my right is Kenny Ray Peterson, WKRP. And every time your bumper music comes on, he's freaking grooving at the table here. He's grooving to the music, and he loves your music, man.
Great stuff.
Loves your music.
Vehicle rocks, by the way. Love when you play Vehicle.
We
Glad to hear it.
We have the great Don Hecklinski on.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Well, no, what do you got there? You got a little something on there? Yeah, put something on. Let's see his smile.
Yeah, there's his endorsement. How's that?
There it is.
Can't hear it.
Can you hear it?
No, I cannot.
We're rocking out. They are rocking out here at Corby's Store. All right, man. Great to see you. I know it's been a long run for you. You kind of went back into education this year. A former college baseball coach. Talk about this year, and not the band per se, but talk about what you did this year.
Well, in the fall, go back to the springtime. My son, Al, who has a son named Finn, and he goes to a Catholic high school named John Carroll High School in Birmingham, and he's a senior, plays basketball and baseball. And as you said, I used to be a baseball coach. My son, Al, used to be a baseball player. And so he is a volunteer coach at John Carroll High School. And I used to teach math. When I got out of college, I coached and taught math. And John Carroll had a math opening and an assistant baseball coach opening. And so my son calls me in the springtime and says, "Hey, Dad, why don't you apply for this thing?" And I said, "I'm 74 years old. Who the hell is going to hire a 74-year-old ex-math teacher that doesn't even have a certificate in the state of Alabama, hasn't taught for 40 years. Not only that, but I haven't coached organized baseball for since 1983. So anyway, long story short, I interviewed, got the job. Don't know why, but I got the job. I taught math. I taught a full load of math, 6 courses a day, three preps, and I coached baseball. Now, the teaching part alone killed me because I had to get up at 3 o'clock every morning and watch YouTube videos to be smarter than the kids I was going to teach that day. But the coaching, that was interesting. It was fun, first of all, but I found out that coaching baseball is a physical undertaking. We start every practice hitting 30 minutes of ground balls. We throw batting practice. We do everything. It's not a sit there and tell people how to do a type of activity. So it took its toll on my body. But anyway, bottom line is we played in the fall, we played in the spring. I survived. I made it. It was a great experience. And I always say I got the opportunity to do that. I didn't have to do it. I got the opportunity.
Yeah, and I think that's amazing because, and not only from the standpoint of your work ethic, because you would do that. You would never put yourself in a position to go in front of a classroom and not really know what you're teaching. Unlike your brother who just went in and taught health and said, "Hey, health, hey, you feeling good? You healthy? Good. Let's watch a movie." But I mean, you actually prepped and did all that. But then at the end of the day, every day in the baseball season, you got to hang with your son. You got to hang with your grandson. And that had to be almost like the coolest thing at this stage of your life to be able to do that.
It's very, very rewarding. Yeah. So my son is in his mid-40s. He has 5 children. Finn is the third from the top, from the oldest. And as I said, he's a senior. He played middle infield, played second base, started the whole year, batted second in the lineup, contributed, hit over 300. Had a great year, but the fun part about it was watching him. Well, first of all, watching him every day and seeing just what kind of an athlete he is. And then secondly, getting to hang with my son, which, as you're going to figure out, Ron, when your kids get in their 30s and 40s, your kids don't need you anymore. Not only do they not need you, they don't want you in their lives anymore. And that's not really true. But they're busy. I mean, and yeah, every day I got to talk to my son. After practice, we sat down and just shot the bull and talked about baseball, talked about life for about a half hour every day during the baseball season. So, yeah, that was a very rewarding experience.
Don, what's a typical season? When do you guys start your season in Alabama, and when do you end your season?
Oh, gosh. Well, first of all, we practice 4 days a week in the fall.
Okay.
From probably the second week of the school year through December. Take a couple weeks off for the vacation. We come back in January and we hit it running. I mean, we started, I think after the first week of school, we started every day. Our season opened up February 19th and it just ended 2 weeks ago. So, every day we didn't take a day off, 6 days a week, as a matter of fact.
Wow.
So my typical day was, leave the house at 6:30, get to school about 7, teach, like I said, 6 classes, on the baseball field about 1:30, 2 o'clock, get home on days that we didn't have a game, get home about 6:30. On days that we did have a game, get home about 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock. And that is not a undoable schedule for somebody in their 30s and 40s or even their 50s. But, throw 30 years on top of that, and that's took some getting used to. Yeah, but in retrospect, it was absolutely fun. I mean, I enjoyed myself immensely.
Yeah, so that's, really a typical day, that we put in from a basketball standpoint. Right. But the point he just made is we weren't in our mid-70s.
74 years old.
Yeah, because
we'd miss that afternoon nap.
Exactly.
But you wouldn't be able to watch Bonanza and Gunsmoke
and Rawhide and all that. Yeah.
Well, no, I'm not. So I'm really not doing Bonanza now. I'm doing Netflix and Hulu, and I'm watching stuff that you can't even believe. But anyway, okay, let's get back to the real stuff here now.
So things never change, right?
No, right. We digress a lot on this show. But anyway, as a kid, you got a drum set. You banged around a little bit as a kid. But then you got into athletics and sports and scholarship as a baseball player, college baseball coach. And you didn't play the drums for roughly how long, would you say?
I started taking lessons at the age of 55. So that tells you, back in, I forget what year it was. Well, in fact, I talked to my mother one time and I said, "Mom, why did you never let me take drum lessons?" She said, "We did. We had you take drum lessons, but you didn't have time."
Yeah, exactly.
We, like you said, we all played three sports. That was our lives, sports. And so I got the.
Computer's freezing up on. Uh-oh. Get a refresh.
There
he is.
I tell you why I got good real fast is I practiced. Imagine that. If you practice, you might get good at something, you know? So anyway, I got in a couple bands, and I got in this band called, look at my T-shirt, Black Sedan Band.
Right.
Yeah,
Okay.
no, that's what we talk about all the time here now.
So I got in that band in 2020. We formed the band, and we've been on the uphill swing ever since. This past year was a good year for the band, even though I wasn't with them. We had a substitute drummer who took my place, knowing that on May 22nd, tomorrow, I was going to take over as the drummer. So take back over as the drummer. So I play my first show tomorrow. As a matter of fact, we play around the corner from my house at the SEC baseball tournament. The stadium is called the Hoover Met Stadium, and they have an event tomorrow. And so it's going to be, we play for 3 hours at a kind of just a, for people going to the stadium, going to the baseball games.
I mean, so really, you took kind of a chance here because you're going to take, 10 months off from your band. Your band hires a substitute. And I said this to you a little bit today, and I kind of laugh about it, but I think it's freaking true. What if they freaking hire Ringo fucking Starr, and Ringo Starr is at the drums? And
are you allowed to say the F-bomb on the?
It's a podcast, man.
Oh, okay, all right.
Yeah, it's a podcast. But at the end of the day, then they say, well, no, hey, listen, Donnie's coming back on the 22nd, and Ringo's up on the drum stand saying, who? And they're going.
Well, first of all, I took care of that because I recommended the guy.
Oh, okay, and it wasn't Ringo.
I knew he wasn't. I knew he wasn't better than me, and I knew he would have. There would be a learning curve with the song. So yeah, they want me back.
All right. So as as an ex-athlete, and we were all ex-athletes here, but at the end of the day, we would practice hard, and then we would go play our games. I mean, whatever sports, and we would get juiced up for that. I mean, we score a bucket, you throw an interception at Butler, you make a bad call behind the plate. But when you're playing in a band and your guys are kicking it and the songs are flowing and everybody's dancing, do you get juiced up playing the drums saying, man, that sounds good?
Absolutely. They said there's a saying in music that you get paid to load and unload the equipment and set it up, and you play for free. And that's exactly, loading and unloading is the hard work, setting up and all that, taking it down after the show. But once that first note starts, I love it. I mean, and if I didn't love it, I wouldn't do it.
That sounds like a Jackson Brown song.
Yeah, exactly. But no, it's fun. I do get juiced up. It is. There's some adrenaline flowing.
Yeah, I think that's really cool. But I think you guys need to hire some roadies, man. And you just show up. Oh, really? You got guys that are set up for you now?
No, Amelia, my granddaughter.
There you go. Here's $10. Take grandpa's drums in.
No, it's 50. She's in college. She wants a 50.
She's
wants
on NIL.
She wants a 50 spot, huh?
Exactly.
Hey, Gramps, I got the bass drum here. That is hilarious.
She knows how to set them up too. I don't have to do a thing.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
And so she'll go with you on some of the gigs then?
Well, she just meets me to set it up.
That is so cool.
She's meeting me tomorrow, and she'll help me set it up. No, it's good.
That's really cool.
Yep. The trouble is I gotta teach another one how to do it because she goes to college in 2 weeks because she plays volleyball.
Yeah, I mean, and talk about the athletic family situation, grandkids, your kids that played athletics. And obviously we came from a highly competitive athletic family. Our dad played, our dad coached us, his twin brother coached us, Ziggy Robleski coached us, and they all beat our asses. And we all had a great upbringing. And then you go out and have a family of your own. Talk about all of your kids that have been involved in athletics.
My oldest daughter played softball at Miami of Ohio. went on a scholarship to Miami of Ohio, played 4 years, graduated from there. And my youngest daughter should have played because she was the best athlete in the family, but she decided not to. And Al, my son, played baseball at Alabama.
Yeah, and now their children, your grandchildren, which you enjoy immensely going to watch them play. Talk about them a little bit.
So our oldest grandchild, Campbell, just graduated 2 weeks ago from Faulkner University, a NAIA school in Montgomery. She played softball for 2 years there. She started out at a JUCO, and then she transferred to Faulkner. Let's see, Caroline went to a JUCO, played 1 year, and then decided to hang it up. Finn, their third child, is going to Huntington College, a D3 school, to play basketball. Let's see, who else? Amelia is going to a JUCO called LBW in Andalusia and plays volleyball.
He's got to have a stat sheet to remember everybody.
Oh, I know. One of my grandsons, Connor, just finished his baseball season at a local high school. They finished. They were runner-up in the state tournament. He's a junior. He's a pitcher.
And that's a great story in itself because you played. John Carroll played against Spain Park,
and Connor beat us. Connor pitched the game and beat us. Yeah,
that had to be cool, right?
Yeah, very, very cool. Not getting beat, but getting beat by Connor, that's okay.
Yeah, and then there's Boone.
There's Boone. He's an eighth grader. Going to enter Hoover High School this year. He's a baseball player and a wrestler. I just saw him play the other day. Boone and I have a tradition on his birthday. We go to a local sporting goods store and he picks out a bat that he likes, and I buy it for his birthday. This year, the damn thing cost $400.
And so those Louisville Sluggers don't cost $10 anymore, do they?
No. And then, the other side, they got two grandchildren up in Murfreesboro, Tennessee. Harper, she's going to be a freshman. She just finished her 8th grade year. She got invited to play on a very high-level softball team, a travel team this summer that plays all over the country. And her sister plays on a 12U team, softball. So then there's Riggs, our little one, the little guy. He plays, I think it's 8U coach pitch baseball. So it's all over the map. They're fun. Yeah. They're fun to watch.
Okay, you called him Riggs, but his real name is Wrigley, right?
Wrigley James, exactly.
Wrigley in Alabama, man.
He's not a super freak, is he?
No, he's unbelievable. He's a New York Yankee fan. Comes home from school, watches every Yankee game, knows every Yankee player, right?
Yep, can tell you the stats. Yep.
Yeah. Oh gosh, the next John Sterling.
And you took him to a spring training game.
To watch the Yankees, and then we took him that same year. We took him to a Braves Yankees game, and he gets a ball signed by Garrett Cole.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah.
And then when we're growing up, when we're kids, that whole scenario that you just painted was all of us too, right?
Yeah,
it was all
exactly.
of us, and it was all of us because of our father.
Yep.
Who was a great athlete in those times, and then our mother made sure everything else was taken care of at home, and then our dad got us involved in everything.
So here's an interesting thing. So we talked about the SEC tournament that's going on right now. Riggs' baseball team got to go on the field with the Alabama baseball team and stand next to him during the national anthem. You've seen that done before.
Yes.
And so I text Riggs and I said, Riggs, do you realize that your dad 23 years ago in 2003 played in that same tournament for that team, Alabama, and they won the SEC tournament that year?
Wow.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Hey, Don, you were talking about Riggs knowing all the Yankees and knowing the players and the stats and stuff. Did you remember a guy that played there a couple years ago for the Yankees? They called him the Magic Man.
I do not.
He was a reliever. He came up from AAA. He pitched for the Yankees for a brief cup of coffee and then moved on. He was a lefty. Josh Maciejewski was his name, if you remember him. He was from North Carolina. He pitched for the Yankees for like a couple of games. Got to pitch against Miami at Yankee Stadium. He is a distant cousin of mine.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
Yes.
Cool.
really?
Very
Is he
cool.
from New Carlisle? Is he from New Carlisle?
No, he's from Crumbstown.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
amazing.
Well, his dad's from Crumbstown, but they live in North Carolina now.
One of the
All
family
right, man, cool.
out on a branch of the family tree.
Yeah.
Jeez, that's amazing.
Yeah.
All right, man. Listen. So you, all right. So you got a gig tomorrow.
Yep.
When you have a gig the night before, I mean, we had to be in, we had to rest, we had to be training. Coach Donowald was calling us. Randy, are you in? No, Coach.
You got your pasta dinner tonight?
Well, we didn't have cell phones there, so I couldn't just say no, Coach. Yeah, I'm in, Coach. We had to be there. So, like, do you have to be at the crib? Do you have to be in bed at a certain time tonight to get your rest?
Actually, I haven't played our music for 9 months, as you might guess.
Yeah.
So I've got to spend tomorrow listening to all of our songs. So I just familiarize myself with them.
Get the drum pad out and
Well, I just got to listen to them. See, just listen to how they start and just listen. So somebody calls off a song and I say, "Holy shit! What does that sound like?"
What does that sound like?
How does that go?
Tell me what some of your song list is going to be like for tomorrow night.
You got to play Vehicle.
Oh no, we don't play that. We open up with. Let's see. I looked at it the other day. We open up with Soul Man.
Oh, good one.
Followed by the Blues Brothers song "Everybody Loves Somebody," followed by "Sweet Home Chicago." We do kind of a Blues Brothers medley to start off with, and yeah.
That is so cool. Well, I mean, we want to thank you, and obviously, you do this out of the goodness of your heart. We love your music, and you sponsor us. I think you've sponsored us for 4 straight years. Nobody listens to the freaking show, but we listen to your music all the time. And I say that in jest because our numbers have been great.
Good for them.
The fact that you help us out with this is amazing. And I want to thank you for doing that. And I want to wish you good luck tomorrow night back in your element, man.
Back in the saddle.
And having a blast. You got your Cub hat on. Right now, the Cubs might be the worst team in freaking baseball. They really might. And I know I texted you this. I'm kind of down on Council. Pat Murphy, the Brewers, they played 48 games. He's played 48 different lineups.
Wow.
Council sticks with the same guys. And most of the time, he might vary a batting order a little bit, but not much.
Right.
But here's what I say. Well, what's your definition of insanity?
Doing the same thing over and over again and hoping for a different result.
Yeah, sometimes you just got to come out and play somebody else. They trade for a guy named Nicky Lopez. He's the 25th guy on the team, but he can play everywhere: shortstop, third base, pinch run, blah blah blah. They got him 3 weeks ago. He ain't stepped foot on the field. Now, if he ain't good enough, then go get yourself a guy from AAA.
Yeah.
But if you're going to have a guy in uniform, you need to play him, and you need to give some of these guys a minute off to reset themselves.
Right.
And you were a baseball coach. Do you believe in that theory a little bit?
Oh yeah. When you're slumping, you have to do something. You have to push some buttons. And if you don't push buttons, you aren't going, like you just said, you aren't going to get this. You're going to get the same result. Day off, or
a little bit.
you try some different faces. It's just you got to do something.
Yeah, no, I agree. So I guess to answer your question, which we talked about, because I know you're looking at maybe going up for a game in the Yankees and the Dodgers series, maybe catching the end of the Yankees and maybe a game of the Dodgers. If they don't turn this around, man, I don't know, right?
If they don't turn it around, I'm going to go south and be at the beach for a week.
There you go, man. There you go. Please give your family, a hug for me, and know that we thank you so much. Know that I love you, man, and have a great gig tomorrow night.
Love you too. Hey, great to talk to you guys. Enjoyed it.
See you, Don.
Take
care.
Bye. So how cool was that?
Yeah. Hey.
How cool was that?
That's better than getting Ringo Starr and Paul McCartney on here. I'll tell you.
No, I'm just saying to say that at age 55, I said, I want to maybe take up the drums again, and I'm going to go take a couple lessons, and then to get yourself in a Southern rock band.
Oh yeah. The whole key is I've figured out as you get older, as long as you stay active. I've talked to people who are older than me, and that's one thing they tell me is that as long as you're staying active doing things are great. It's when you slow down and don't do anything that you're in trouble.
Yeah, no, I agree. So,
but I think it's great that he chose to do that at 50, when he started at 55.
Yeah, so he's been doing it now for 19 years. Yeah. But I said, man, you got to grow something. If you're in a band, the Southern Rock, you got to have a little something on your face. You got to have a little hair maybe or something.
Like a ZZ Top kind of thing or what?
Oh, no, something. And so when he plays, he wears his baseball hat backwards.
Nice.
Which I think is kind of cool, right?
Yeah, it works.
Yeah. So now we've talked about 3 of our sponsors. We've talked about Ben Harbor. We've talked about the great Pat Hahn. We talked about the Black Sedan Band. We have had the great Tony Letcher on here, I don't know, 3 or 4 or 5 times this year.
Yeah.
And what Tony does from us from Health Markets Insurance, and again, he takes care of both me and you, right?
Yep.
Is amazing. So our sponsors have just done a great job of making this possible, and for you and me and Kenny and Big John, when Johnny Be Good can make it, allows us to do this.
He's busy at baseball. He's got high school baseball tonight. He's the PA announcer for the Adams baseball team for home games.
Here's a comment I want to make to you. How many times in a basketball game, just a normal NBA basketball game, do you think that James Harden dribbles the ball? How many dribbles in an NBA basketball game do you think he might take?
I wouldn't
even know where to begin.
I'd have to don't even have enough interest to even have a number for you.
Well, the Knicks have found out that his defense leaves a lot to be desired.
Yeah, and I've always said this. When I was coaching, when you were coaching, I want you guys to move the ball. And I get it if you got a lane and you want to take it to the rack, right, or if you want to maybe play some draw and kick for somebody, right? But just to stand there and pound the ball.
He pounds it and then in a step back.
Yeah.
Pound it. Well, I'm going to tell you how many. About 1,000 a game. He pounds it about 1,000 a game. And one of the opposing coaches said, I took the film, I got a film, counted every dribble. And the number's about 1,000 a game.
Oh, my gosh.
So every time that he's dribbling it 1,000 times, everybody else is doing what?
Just standing there.
Stand and watch.
And that's kind of what the NBA game has transpired into, right?
Mm-hmm.
Pound it, drive it.
Well, and tonight's game 2 of the Cavs and the Knicks. And 2 nights ago, my goodness gracious, what a debacle for the Cavs. I mean, the Cavs had a chance to steal one. The Cavs were up. Well,
22 with 7 minutes to go.
I've got it written down right here. You're exactly right. It was
93-70.
They were up 20 early in the fourth. It was 83-69. It was 83-69 at the end of 3.
Yeah.
Okay, and I've got it written down here. Donovan Mitchell had 29. At the 8:19 mark, they're up 21. They're up 21.
And what did Mitchell finish with?
He ended up with 29. That's what I was saying.
But in the last 8 minutes, he didn't score.
Yeah,
he didn't touch the ball.
And I can specifically remember the last possession, the regulation, when the score was tied. He had the ball coming down the floor, and Harden was waiting for him 2 steps across the half court line, and he just kind of 2-bounced it over to him, and he went over and stood on the wing and put his hands on his hips, and Harden did his thing, and I remember he was 1 for 8 in the second half, I think, from threes. And James Harden looked like the James Harden we've seen in previous years when they go in the tank.
Well, and you guys know this as coaches. If you're not being able to score, you got to step it up on the defensive end. And
allegedly, coaches.
Well, no, allegedly. I don't know about the alleged part, but you got to step it up on the defensive end. And when the Knicks figured out who the weakness was on the Cavs, they went at him. And, Kenny Atkinson needs to have a discussion with his staff as to why, if your guys aren't playing defense, I don't care who it is, pull his butt out of there, put somebody in that can get you a stop.
And here's the stinker of it. Harden had 5 fouls, and they put him on New York's best player.
And you're helpless.
They've got him guarding Brunson with 5 fouls.
Yeah, so let me read you a text I just got. This is from the great Chad Kirk. from North Carolina who is now matriculated back to Richmond, Indiana. He says, Coach, the Black Sedan Band would have been a perfect fit for my bars in Carolina Beach. Beach Bums and the Sea Witch. Wish there had been too many miles to travel. We would have loved to have him there. I will miss this show over the summer months. Thank you for 4 years of entertainment. Love you guys.
Well,
that's one of our guys from North Carolina who's now moved to Richmond.
Yep.
And thanks, Chad. Thanks for listening, man.
Yep.
Now that you're back in Indiana, next year you're going to have to make a little trip up to South Bend on a Thursday night and be on this show live.
Yep.
And we will try and work that out. I got another text.
Go ahead.
This is from Jack. What do you think of Hap's comment about the standings, and how do the Cubs look compared to other contenders? What he's talking about is Ian Happ has just been in a prolonged slump. I think he's hitting 210 now. And they asked Happ what he thought about this little losing streak. And Happ made the comment, there's a lot of games left, blah, blah, blah. You know, we play so many games. My take on that is the games you lose in May, maybe you wouldn't have to win them in September if you would have took care of business in May. And I think
that's consistency that everybody talks about.
I think a sense of urgency that players should have, as opposed to now you look at the White Sox. The White Sox took 2 out of 3 from the Cubs. The White Sox have young kids that just have this passion to play the game.
Well, they're still trying to make the team.
And they're playing really, really, really well.
And right now, the Cubs don't have a closer to speak of. It's closing by committee.
No, I mean, their pitching staff has been so banged up.
Yeah.
And I get that. But what I don't get is these games, tomorrow's games, Saturday's games, Sunday. Each one of these games matters so much.
Well, sure.
And you can't just say, well, I don't have a sense of urgency right now. You know.
Well, the Cubs have got Houston coming to town tomorrow afternoon, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Is Houston in AAA or are they in the major leagues now? I think Houston's been in AAA the last couple of years.
Is that right?
Yeah. When Dusty Baker had them, I think they were pretty good.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But and my comment to my brother about how you have to, if you're a Major League Baseball, and it's not a sprint.
No, it's a marathon.
Well, and see, you're sitting here throwing the Cubs in the trash can. Yeah, they've won 2 of their last 10. They lost 8 of their last 10. Milwaukee's won 8 of their last 10.
Right.
So
yeah, but
the Cubs are a game and a half back instead of 3 ahead or whatever they were last week.
But with all that being said, they won 20 out of 23, and they couldn't pull away from the Brewers.
And now they, like you said, they lose 8 out of 10,
and the Brewers win 8 out of 10.
Mm-hmm. St. Louis is right there, Pittsburgh. I mean, it's going to be a competitive division all season.
Well, you think it is?
Yeah. Well, right now you think it is, sure.
You talk about Murphy being the real leader of it. I don't think it's just Murphy. I think it's the whole organization and the culture that's there. I mean, they're one of the smallest markets in baseball, and here they are. And I told somebody this the other day. You know, when are people going to realize that Milwaukee's going to be there every year because they take the ones that aren't good, develop them, and now they're a playoff contender?
Well, Pat Murphy's been the head coach. Craig Counsell left. This is Craig Counsell's 3rd year in Chicago.
Right.
It's also Pat Murphy's 3rd year being the manager of the Brewers. Last 2 years, he's been the National League Manager of the Year.
Yeah.
So what does that tell you, right?
He's a heck of a coach, heck of a leader.
He plays different lineups. He's got young guys that play hard.
Different philosophy.
Yeah, 100%.
And you look at the NL Central, nobody's bad in it. Everybody's above 500. I mean, you know, you're in a division that's going to be a bear.
The newness is worn off. Everybody's played 50 games.
Yeah.
And you're into the rotation. And like you're mentioning, Milwaukee, they let guys, and they sit a guy every 3rd or 4th game. Let them get a break, and they rotate the lineup and go from there.
And so Jack makes another great point. The Cubs lead the league in leaving runners on base.
Oh gosh.
So you're not a great baseball guy. Okay, what does RISP mean, Pat?
Don't have a clue.
Runners in scoring position.
When the Cubs get runners in scoring position, they lead the league in not being able to drive them in.
Oh yeah.
So if you're a baseball guy, if you're a baseball savant, you like that word, savant?
I love that word. That's a big word for me.
That's a big word for me to use too, savant. But if you're a baseball savant and you get a runner on third base with less than 2 outs, you're clapping, you're cheering, you're in hog heaven, because all you're saying now is, all I got to do is hit a fly ball to left field or right field and get that runner to score and tag up.
Or put the ball in play on the right side.
Put the ball in play.
Yes.
Yep.
And that's key. Put the ball in play. The Cubs invariably, there was a game this year, big game. And again, are there big games in April at the beginning of May?
It depends on who the
when you're in a
opponent is.
162 game schedule.
It depends who the
I
opponent
kind of think there are, because those are just less games you got to win in September.
Right.
So runners on second and third, nobody out. You're down by a run in the 8th inning. First player strikes out. Now, if you're at the dish, you got a runner on third, less than 2 outs. Ain't no way you can strike out. Ain't no way you can strike out. And you don't need to swing like you're trying to hit a 600-foot home run.
No.
All you got to do is make contact. Right, Patrick?
I agree. Well, and I know where I'm going with this, because
make contact.
You're putting this on the hitting coaches to start with.
Well, I don't even know how much value hitting coaches have, because players today are just different, man. They're just different.
That's where I'm leading up to. And I've seen that.
Change your swing.
I've seen the swings. They've all got the same swing. They're dropping their hip. They're worrying about hitting on plane, launch angles, and they're not playing situations. Because you got a guy on 100%. At the worst, if you're in the bottom of the lineup, you haven't had a hit in 3 games. What's wrong with just squaring a bunt, making them do that?
The Cubs don't do enough of that.
Run a safety squeeze. See, I'm still old school. I'll play small ball all day.
I 100%.
And nobody knows how to defend small ball today.
I'm with you.
Or if there's an outside pitch, I'm going to right field with it. But see, these guys don't. I don't think they practice.
Drive it.
I don't think
They're swinging for 400 foot instead of 100 foot.
So first batter strikes out. Second and third, 1 out. Same scenario. All you got to do is put it in play. Next batter pops out, a foul ball to the first baseman. Now there's 2 outs. You can't drive the ball out of the infield as a major leaguer, as a guy making they just signed Bregman 5 years, $175 million. You can't hit the ball out of the freaking infield. The third batter comes up. It's a fly ball to the first baseman.
Nothing.
Ball never leaves the infield.
But if you want to talk about other teams doing it, you want to talk about the Brewers, they're always going to make contact. And you're not a baseball guy, but you made I think your comment was probably the best. Situational hitting.
Mm-hmm.
Anthony Rizzo.
I don't think they teach it anymore.
Anthony Rizzo, great player for the Cubs, loved to play. Had so much fun playing. I remember when he stepped on that tarp, caught that foul ball, and then just turned around and was laughing so hard, right? Yeah. Right? You remember that play?
Mm-hmm.
Anthony Rizzo gets 2 strikes on him. He's choking up for a minute. He's choking up to get more bat control.
That's old school.
And not take that big loopy swing. He's choking up just to make contact.
Right.
Now, he ain't going to hit it out of the park choking up, but he's going to drive the run in, right?
Oh, yeah. Make contact.
And I'm done with my rant. I'm done with my rant. When the Cubs win the next game, maybe I'll be back on board. But I am a bad fan, and I'm a bad baseball fan because I do understand that baseball is a game of what?
Momentum. And it's a marathon.
No, it's a game of what?
Streaks?
It's a game of failure.
Yes. Oh my gosh, yes.
Because you bat 10 times, you get 3 hits, you're a 300 hitter. But you also fail 7 times. So it's a game of failure.
But you're rewarded for hitting the ball 3 out of 10 times.
Yes, but it's a game of failure. Yeah. And so sometimes players are going to go through streaks. And like my brother said, you got to change it up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You got to change the order up. You got to say, hey, so the last time Ian Happ got a hit, the Dead Sea was only sick. Okay?
Here we go.
Last time he got a hit, the Dead Sea was only sick. Hey, Ian, sit down today. Watch some video. Sit in the dugout and watch SpongeBob. Watch Bob's Burgers on video. Take a day off. Relax, because baseball is such a mental game.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
It's a mental game. Relax. Go in the hitting cage. Work on your swing in the hitting cage.
Go play golf.
Do something.
Do something else.
But I think our definition of insanity is right freaking on, right?
Right. Do the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result.
It's almost the same thing with kids shooting free throws, right?
No, exactly. So much. It's mental. But like I said, Houston's coming to see the Cubs this weekend. St. Louis is down at Cincinnati. American League, you got over in the East, you got the 2 first place teams. Tampa Bay gets to go see the Yankees this weekend. And to me, that's still one of the amazing situations. Here's Tampa Bay, who monetarily is probably one of the bottom 2 or 3 on payroll, playing the Yankees, who is one of the top 2 or 3 at the top of the payroll. You've got they've got stories back in the day where who was it? Judge makes more money than his payroll's as high
as the Tampa's.
His paycheck's the same as the whole payroll for Tampa Bay.
Yeah, and you make a great point, and Jack makes a great point too, because I said the Cubs were last in the league in scoring runners when they're in scoring position, right? They're last. Milwaukee is in the top 3 in the league for that.
Yeah.
So it's a matter of understanding what your team needs. It doesn't need a 3-run homer.
Right.
It needs a single to the opposite field.
Well, I go back to that playoff game 5 last year when they played the Brewers, and they had runners on first and second with nobody out. And I'm screaming one thing.
Bunt them over.
Yes.
Bunt them over, because now second and third and 1 out.
With 2 possible chances to score.
Okay, here's a comment back to your Tampa Bay deal. And so Tampa Bay does a great job of scouting, of developing, of bringing guys to the major leagues.
Yes.
Tampa Bay's problem is, though, is they don't have the financial wherewithal. Then when those kids come up and they're ready for their payday,
they can't keep
them.
You're exactly right.
And Pittsburgh for so many years was in the same predicament. And we're going to see now what's going to happen with Pittsburgh, because Pittsburgh has a Cy Young winner the last couple of years, Paul Skeens, who's going to come up for his payday. So he's going to cost them far more than what they pay the whole team payroll.
Yeah, right.
And then they have a shortstop named and right now he's playing center field, O'Neal Cruz, who's going to be a star. So you're going to have 2 guys now that those 2 contracts would be more than what you're paying the whole team. And correct me if I'm wrong, but if my wife is listening, my wife will tell you I say I'm never wrong. But that's what Billy Ball was all about at Oakland, because Oakland didn't have the money to pay guys either.
Right. You're exactly right.
So they developed what they called Billy Ball, and their statistical analysis, and they broke the game down so well that they would take mediocre players and guys that they didn't have to pay a great salary to, but could do a different thing.
Do 1 or 2 things.
Hey, let's take us to break, and then we'll come up and we will get rolling. And hopefully maybe talk to Joe Matiga. I haven't seen Joe in yet.
Medicare plans can be confusing, but they don't have to be. I'm Tony Letcher, licensed insurance agent. I can help you compare your options because I'm appointed with many nationally recognized carriers. With my help, you can find the coverage that fits your needs and budget. I don't want you to be my client today. I want you to be my client forever. Call Tony Letcher today to schedule your free consultation or visit tletcher.com.
Looking to get your driver's license? Frick's Driving School in Mishawaka makes it easy. Take the official Indiana State driving exam right there in-house for just $65. No formal driver's education required.
You're 16 years and 270 days old, and you've held an Indiana learner's permit for at least 180 days. You're eligible. For more information, the link is in the video description.
Han Funeral Homes in Mishawaka continues its tradition of families serving families. They provide burial, cremation, and pet cremation with compassionate personal care. Families have long trusted Han to guide them through life's hardest moments. Learn more by clicking the link in the show description.
The Harbor Group Planned Wealth helps you answer the big questions like when to draw Social Security, how to manage investment risk, and what health insurance might cost. Wondering if you can earn part-time income after 62 without losing benefits, or if retiring could actually feel like getting a raise.
For more information and for information about all of our partners, see the links in the show description and make sure to tell them that Coach's Corner with Heck and King sent you.
Back again with more Coach's Corner. Shout out, as always, to the Black Sedan Band. Now in their, well, they've been with us since the start. We'll just say that. They do travel, so if you're interested in booking a great cover band, go to blacksedanband.com, or you can check them out on YouTube after you're done watching us, of course. Now here's more Heck and King.
Yeah, so we are back, and this has been a great show tonight. We've talked a little bit of sports, and some baseball. I got my rant in a little bit. I got my rant in, but we've also talked about our great sponsors.
So he's happy.
With this being our last show of the year, we talked about Tony Letcher and Tony's Health Markets. We had a great little 3-minute video from Ben Harbor on the Harbor Financial. Pat Hahn from Hahn Funeral Home had a funeral deal tonight, so he couldn't be on, but he contacted me today, and he told me, he said, we love being a sponsor for your show, and we will certainly do it again next year. We had the great Donnie Hecklinski, who is the drummer for the Black Sedan Band, told his story of playing the drums as a kid and then going into business, making a ton of money, going back at age 55, taking a couple lessons, and now being in a Southern rock band. And we have saved our last sponsor. He's the absolute best. We've saved our best for the last in Joe Matiga, the owner at Corby's Irish Pub here. And obviously this comes from both me and Pat. I mean, we want to thank you so much for allowing us to come in here every Thursday night and hang out and talk sports, be a little radical. I mean, there's times we're radical, and that's cool, but you give it, and your staff has been amazing and giving us the opportunity to come in and do that.
No, I wanted to thank you guys because every time I see you out here talking in this room, which is just so special for me, seeing this room filled with sound and having good people together, it makes the bar better having you here. So I appreciate you guys. And I just love the fact that you guys are coming here and doing this, and I think it's a natural fit. So I hope we keep this going.
So here's my question. Where's your mustache, man?
Yeah, shaved that for Mother's Day. Made my wife happy. That was the best gift she could have gotten. So
and so some guys can rock a mustache. I mean, Sam Elliott. Sam Elliott can rock a freaking mustache. I thought your stash was great, man.
Oh yeah, I can grow a mustache. So I say I can make pizzas and grow mustaches. That's right in my wheelhouse. So.
Talk about the bar a little bit and the things and the improvements that you've done here at Corby's. And for the people that have not been in, man, this is such a special place. And the added square footage that you've put on.
Yeah, we were right before last football season. We were just able to open the new space to the west. I built a 2-floor structure, private event space, looking over the East race, and then having more space on the ground floor for people to hang out, plus a little outside area. So this is the first phase of an expansion that I'm going to go all the way to the East race. So
have you been able to utilize it? I mean, Have you had people come in and rent the space now and stuff?
Yeah, it's in demand. So people are reaching out, and every event we've had here has gotten better. So last week was graduation weekend. You know, we were booked on Friday, and just the parents were so happy. And being a part of weekends like last weekend with the new space is the most gratifying thing as a business owner you could feel.
I can imagine that. And the back area, as I might call it, it's huge, and it's very, very usable.
Yeah.
Very usable.
It's you know, it was brand new to the space. You know, the building we're in right now was built in 1890. So putting a new structure right alongside that, I wanted to make sure that it felt and kind of looked the same. So I think I achieved that with some of the brick we had outside. So it feels like it's been here for a while.
Do we have a little volleyball action going out back yet?
That'll be phase 2. I cannot wait. That's the most exciting part of this project. So
I mean, how cool will that be when you have some of the co-eds in here? And you get some volleyball, you know, some sand volleyball tournaments going,
you know,
and things like that.
Yeah, plan on building 2 courts out there, having a big band shell for live music right on the water, facing back this way. And got my hands on the original scoreboard from Notre Dame Stadium from 1931. I have it in my backyard right now, so we're going to put that out there and make that interactive with the space and a bunch of shaded seating and stuff like that.
So when are you going to break ground for that?
It's a great question. So, you know,
it's the same question the Bears have on their new stadium. When are you going to break ground for the new stadium?
I'm not working with the Bears budget, so
okay.
We're operating on different scales here. But I, you know, based on the early returns, I've had the new space for less than a year. But, you know, I feel like if I get at least 2 more football seasons under my belt, I'll be ready to go and make that next plunge here. And I think it's going to be really exciting for the city and for us. So.
Good. With the calendar, with the way it is, you mentioned that graduation just finished last weekend. What's your plans here for the months of June, July, and into August here? Well, everybody's home from school, and the locals are back in town. What are they?
So the calendar that I operate on usually involves right after graduation. There's usually this 2-3 week period of transition where all the kids from IU, Purdue, Ball State, who are from South Bend, who are coming back home, have yet to really establish their daily routines and where they're going out and stuff. So the next 2-3 weeks, it kind of slows down with Memorial Day, with the holiday, and just kind of a transition period. And then we get right into wedding season, and the young people that come back from all these other places who live in South Bend come back for the summer, hang out with their parents, go out, and we're usually a part of that as well.
So, I mean, one of the things that I think is really cool, and I mean, I can't remember this growing up, but and maybe you guys can. But your crowds, I mean, start coming in here like at 10 or 11. And they stay from, I don't know, maybe 1, 2, and you close at 3, right?
Yeah, so it's really changed over the years. You know, when my dad started this back in the early days of Corby's here, post-Cap and Cork, we, you know, the kids would come out it was like clockwork. They'd come out at 9:30. They'd stay till 3. We would have to blow air horns and try to push them out the door at 3 o'clock. Nowadays, it's a little different. People are just behave differently. It's interesting to see how people behave differently at that age. So, you know, usually about 1:30, people start petering out, and rarely do we ever stay open till 3 anymore.
I mean, I remember being young and my dad saying, well, and let me back up for a minute. When I was young, Michigan, just over the line, the drinking age was 18. So it was a different animal. And to be a parent back in those days, my dad, you know, would say to me, he said, hey, he said, you live in Indiana. And if you choose to go to Michigan and you get busted up in Michigan, that's on your ass. And so obviously that's kind of what we did. But when I was a kid, 20, 21, 22, I don't know, I still had curfews. And
because you lived at home, right?
Yeah, and I had to be home. And kids were out rolling still, and I'd say, no, man, I got to go home. And so my 2 boys that have just come through now, they're 26 and 22, and they both live on their own. But when they were at the crib, I said, fellas, you got to be here at midnight. And they say, Dad, I said, I don't care. You got to be in the crib at midnight, man. I mean, so your kids aren't old enough yet, right?
No, my oldest is going to be a freshman at St. Joe next year. So
good luck.
Yeah,
no, good luck. And so they're going to St. Joe?
They are, yeah. My other 2 are at the grade school, 4th and 5th grade, and then I got an 8th grader going to be a freshman.
St. Joe is such a cool place, man. And I know I know you were involved in us broadcasting those games a little bit this past year. And so I got to be back at St. Joe for all the football games, all the basketball games. St. Joe is a cool place to feel safe about leaving your kid off in that school and all the things that are going on in that school, and then throw the Catholic education on top of it. And but still, I mean, we went to St. Joe.
Yeah, we did.
But things were kind of different then, maybe.
Definitely. How about definitely different?
Yeah, no, they were. And people tell me, and I don't know about you, but people tell me, oh, the kids are so bad now, blah, 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 blah. You know what? I'm not sure I really say that. I think that we almost kind of control the kids better now, because back when we were doing it, we were freaking everywhere, right?
The Wild West back then, no phones, no nothing. Somebody called your house and somebody else was on the phone. You got a busy signal.
That's true. That's true. And you're subbing a little bit. I'm subbing a little bit. I sub at Elkhart. And I also sub at Mishawaka, and the kids are great. Yeah. The kids, I'm in a lot of different situations. Anywhere from the gym to ceramics to history class at all the schools. So I see them all.
It's so interesting. I see kids, through the years here, the typical students at Notre Dame, and that certainly has changed, what those kids look like and how they behave, just as a microcosm of, young people, I guess, within that controlled environment. And it's all very interesting. I really wish kids today could have the freedom without all these phones, without having this constant, on top of them. But the cat's out of the bag on that one. So we're kind of dealing with it.
That's going to change here, because I know several of the schools around here have new rules, and I think some of it's state mandated, where they're locking the phones up when they walk in.
I think that's a no-brainer.
The goal is that the kids are going to be empty-handed from the start of the school to the end of the school, where they're going to have to leave their phone someplace, or they're going to deactivate them, or they cannot use them until they walk out the door.
Yeah, and I mean, I think kids have just forgot how to communicate. Think about this now. All right, I'm a shy kid, and you would never have known that. I don't know if you were outgoing in high school, and I don't know what you were like in high school. But if I was thinking about asking a chick out, it was going to take me 2 to 3 weeks just to get the nerve up to maybe do it, right?
Yeah, because you got to talk to her in person.
So now I got a phone, and I can just text. Hey, baby, what are you doing this weekend? You want to go out? Well, that's not how I would be afraid to talk to somebody like that, but I could text that.
It's almost once removed from the situation.
And kids,
instead of looking people in the eye and having to reject you like face to face or whatever, it's it's just vulnerability. It's
No, I agree.
People should talk to each other like we were talking right now.
So when you were in high school, were you a Casanova? Could you just snap your fingers and you got them running at? I mean, you're from the great Anderson Indians, man.
Opposite. And you think about it, if you were always talking about if you were going to break up with some girl, do it in person. Your parents said, talk to them in person. There's no way you're going to do it on the phone, or you might just
shoot them a text.
Nowadays, you don't have to worry about that.
Yeah.
So you couldn't do it. It was hard to do it on the phone because you had 3 or 4 brothers or sisters, and you're the one phone in the house.
And the cord was stretched out so long because
you were hiding around the corner up the stairs with the door closed.
Gone to meet her at North Village Mall or something. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Yeah. No. So again, I know you're working tonight. You're on, and I want to thank you for maybe taking a couple minutes to come over, and know that if you want us back, we will certainly be back here in August of next year. And the sign you made for us is amazing.
So thanks to Indiana Beverage on that one.
No, Indiana Beverage. Yeah, no, the Indiana Beverage boys.
Yep.
That's right.
Is that Randy Dudak?
Yes.
That's Randy. So Randy Dudak,
the guy that I deal with more, Brian Amos and Stuart Cohen.
Yeah, so, I love Amos too.
Yeah, he's great.
He's a Mishawaka guy. He's got a kid that's a basketball player. That's
Amos
amazing.
He's a dynamo.
He's amazing. But every time I talk to Randy Dudak, I tell Randy. So Randy's in the top 5 of St. John's history for athletics.
St. John's.
I tell Randy. I said, Randy. I said, I'm number 1. My brother Booty was number 2. Timmy Kajowski was 3. Paul Stakowitz was 4, and you're 5.
He's got all the names, doesn't he?
And Randy, every time I tell Randy that, he cries. He literally cries because he says, Well, you four guys were so great. I'm honored to be, and I'm just busting him up a little bit.
Wow, you're blowing smoke up.
So next time you talk to Randy,
Yeah.
tell him he's in the top 5 of St. John's.
Top 5 St. John's. I got it.
Top 5 of St. John's. He will laugh so hard.
I'm going to use that one. I appreciate that.
Yep.
But just from our standpoint here, we love having you guys here. So we hope to see much more of you guys going forward here.
Well, we
And,
appreciate that.
We love having you. So
Appreciate that. It's
you
been
know,
a nice
Gary and my
package.
guys in the kitchen, Scott and Cal and all those guys. I'm glad they take care of you. So
No, they're the best, man. They're the best. We try and tip them out well because I know how hard they work. And your food in here, amazing.
Thanks, buddy.
Amazing, man.
God bless you guys.
That
Thank
is
you.
a great Joe
Have a
Matiga.
great Memorial Day.
And we will see a lot of him next year as we are going to close up our show tonight. We have the great WKRP, our fact checker, Kenny Ray Peterson, will now come back. He'll come back and close us off here.
Well, and while we're doing that, let's mention the NBA real quick.
Talk about it, man.
Well, and if you're going to watch the NBA, we're down to the Final Four. And here.
Give me a Fricks team of the
I've got
week.
to have a Fricks team because I tell you what, the Western Conference, it's going to be is must-see TV. The series with the Spurs and OKC, if you're going to watch basketball, watch the OKC Spurs series. You've got young players that enjoy it. I think they showed the other day, both teams like average 23, 24 years old. They're young, they're good. And the Spurs won the first game. So they've already made it a series. So it's 1-1, and game 3 is tomorrow in San Antonio.
So you're a basketball aficionado, right?
I'll try.
Okay. What did the Spurs come out and try and do in game 1 to affect game 1? And it did work. It did work, by the way. What was the one thing that you can remember them doing?
I thought they tried to get physical with the big boy. They pushed him around. When he got out away from the basket, they just physically wouldn't let him in.
Yeah, and Alex Caruso guarded him as well as anybody.
Yeah, they put a 6'6" guy on him because let's face it, he's 7'3". Everybody's shorter than him, so it doesn't matter whether you're 6'10" or 6'6". If he's out on the floor, and if you think about it, think how many times you did that in your scouting reports. If you found a team that had a 6'6" or 6'8" that wanted to play on the perimeter, don't put your 6'8" out on him. Even though you might not have had one like me, I'm going to put a 6-footer on him, and we're going to take the ball from him.
Yeah, and the point I was trying to get you to say, I mean, your point is 100% true. They doubled SGA to get the ball out of his hands.
Well, they did that too. They sure did.
He didn't hurt him in the first game. Second game he got 30, but in the first game they tried to double him to get the ball out of his hands. I thought he did a better job in the second game of splitting those traps. But once you get a guy like Wemby on the floor, he just changes the game.
Yeah. He's a generational player, and SGA's so good.
And then you throw Chet the Jet out there.
Mm-hmm.
Chet Holmgren.
They're good, yeah. And both teams have got good young players. Tonight's game 2 with the Cavs and the Knicks, and it's such a different game because we're talking about the OKC and how physical it was. It's still West Coast basketball. The Western Conference is still stereotypical, up and down the floor. Where you get to the East Coast with Cleveland and the Knicks, and it's a wrestling match.
Yeah,
and game 1, my goodness gracious, the Cavs were in New York, and they were up 20. We mentioned it earlier, and then you're up 20 in the fourth quarter and lose by 10 in overtime.
Because the other guy figured out that James Harden was as Ann Robinson said, he is the weakest link. Goodbye.
James, Harden.
Pound it, 1,000 a game.
Harden is going to be
1,000 a game.
Yeah, I want to see tonight how much they let Harden just dominate the ball.
Here's
that's
a comment
bit I know
for you.
about that.
Here's a comment for you. Locally, the Players Era Tournament in Vegas. It's college basketball, obviously. It's tournament number 8, called the Players Era Tournament in Vegas. They have pitted the University of Florida, who now just found out today that their best defensive player is withdrawing from the draft. He's coming back to Florida. Florida will have all of their players coming back. Okay, their payroll is about $25 million.
Right.
They got a bigger payroll than the Oakland A's. Jay, 25 mil. There on November 17th, they will play in the Players Era Tournament against the University of Notre Dame. Are you kidding me?
Yep.
Let's take Notre Dame and play them against
one of the top 5 teams in the country.
Right.
We got to chat about that coming up next year. And we will be able to chat about that because we'll go this summer and watch them work out a little bit, right?
Yep, we sure will. Hey, let's talk high schools here locally. You've got the girls' track sectional was Tuesday. The boys' track sectional is tonight. You've got softball sectional starting next week. We're going to be covering some of that, I believe, softball and baseball sectionals next week on Broadcast Sport. You and John Overmeyer are going to do that. Locally, the big game is 3A with St. Joe and Mishawaka Marion down at Plymouth.
Softball.
And softball. You've got Penn. Penn is going to be a state power in 4A.
In softball. Hey, let's talk about that Penn and New Prairie baseball series.
2 great games. Colt Griffiths throws a masterpiece in the first game at Penn. They're able to win 4-0. Then the second game at Four Winds Field was an absolute classic. It was everything we thought it was going to be, and New Prairie found a way to get it done at the end. They throw the runner out at the plate for the final out, and they win the game 6-4. And with Penn beating St. Joe on 2, once those games happened, Penn was eliminated from winning the conference championship. So it came down to New Prairie and St. Joe. And when Penn beat St. Joe, New Prairie won the conference title outright. First conference title for the Cougars since 1999 when they were the Northern State Conference with the likes of Bremen, Culver, Glenn, Knox, LaVille, Triton.
They've stepped up in scheduling as opposed to that conference championship.
They sure.
And Coach Schellinger, I thought Coach Schellinger was going to run against you for the mayorship in New Carlisle.
He made the next election, I'll tell you that, because they've got a great program going there right now. And Mark and that whole staff, they have done a tremendous job. And in fact, we will have their game on Monday. Again, Johnny Be Good, and I will have the game with Valpo and New Prairie from Tolman Field on Monday morning at 11 o'clock with the Saugee Lake Performance Center pregame show at 10:30, thereabouts, on broadcastsport.net.
Hopefully the Indy 500 will be run on Sunday, so you guys will get a good audience on Monday. Otherwise, you may be competing with the 500 on Monday on a rain out.
We're also competing with the New Carlisle and Rolling Prairie Memorial Day parades, too.
Oh, that's right, the parade.
All 7 minutes of each.
Boys baseball sectional starts, Wednesday of next week?
Yes.
Most of the action here, the 4A action will be at Mishawaka. Penn and Michigan City, Riley Adams, LaPorte, Mishawaka will be a good game over there. Down at Goshen, you got Northridge, Concord, Warsaw, Goshen. Goshen was semi-state last year, as I recall.
They beat Penn in the regional over at Napa.
The big game in the baseball sectional will be down at Plymouth in 3A. First round, New Prairie, St. Joe.
Yeah, that'll be on that that'll be Saturday afternoon on the 30th that they'll play that game.
That's a bye game. That's right.
Yeah.
And the winners will play June 1st, and I hopefully will be back in town to help out with that. Yeah. I am going to Texas next week, and that next week's my chance I'll be working at the Colonial. I'll be in Fort Worth, and for you people that are just bored to tears, I will either be on 8 Green with a sign that says "Quiet Y'all," or I'll be right below 9T. So 8 Green, 9T.
I'll be looking for you, man.
That's my neighborhood. So
nice.
I'll be in Texas with my 2 brothers, Steve and Jeff. This will be the 4th year I get to go down there and hang out in Fort Worth with the big boys. I think they're at the Byron Nelson this week, which is in McKinney, which is about 10 minutes from where I lived 40 years ago. You ready to go eat some pizza?
Well, here's where I'm going to be. I'm going to be at the front table right here. Throwing down about 3 or 4 slices of the great Corby's Pizza. Yep. And again, hey guys, thank you for tuning in. Next year we're gonna have the great Chad Kirk will be here. He'll come in town for a show. I'm sure Q will come in town for another show. God willing, all 3 of us will be here again with the great Johnny Be Good subbing in every now and then. And listen to me, I know you're a world traveler now, PK, but do you know who Lou Gehrig is, by the way?
I've heard of him.
Okay.
All right. I know who Wally Pipp is, too, I know where you're going with this.
Remember that every time you take a chance on leaving and you put me, Johnny, and WKRP on this show.
I know.
You take a shot at that, man.
Pretty good substitute.
Well, I can't lose them for football now because that's coming up.
I know.
August
That's right.
21st.
You and I would be out there doing New Prairie games.
You're
again.
not going to lose him for football. He's already made that statement. He's staying with you, and he's doing New Prairie football. Hey, guys, thanks. It's been another great year. Pat, you're the best. And I wanted to tell you this. I could tell you this off the air, but I want to tell you this on the air. You have become such a really, really, really good broadcaster and you interview people so well. I kind of go off the edge. I kind of go off the table. You're steady. You've become so good at being cool. And I want to tell you, I just wanted to tell you that. Make sure our listeners hear that. Kenny, you're the absolute best. We love having you here. And of course,
I want to thank Scott for getting things set up. Scott's in the air right now, so he's flying.
Yes, Scott is just the best,
and he'll be around. He would want to tell you that all of these shows are archived on either YouTube or Broadcast Sport, and you can also pick them up at on your Spotify and Apple. So if you can listen to us in the car as well. So we will be back in August, and until then, take care.
Thank you very much. Adios.
Man, you ain't that good. The scouting report said you were pretty good. You ain't that good.